Today is a great day to be a Tiger. JSU by 40 campaign. Coach Taylor, I was just thinking, I was sitting in my office and we were talking about Jackson State athletics, the tradition of Jackson State. You played here. What if 50,000 alums gave $40 a month for 12 months?
Man, that would be huge. That's money in the bank for athletic program.
Let's do this, Coach. I'm challenging all 50,000 alumni of Jackson State University, supporters, fans. Let's give $40 a month to JSU by 40 campaign. 12 months, 12 million, September to August. Let's win championships in the classroom. Let's support Jackson State University. Let's support athletics. And let's make sure our coaches and our student athletes are successful. So again, Coach Taylor and I are challenging you, all 50,000 alums, $40 a month for 12 months to support Jackson State athletics. Go Tigers.
Go Tigers.
Support the JSU by 40 campaign. Visit gojsutigers.com/JSU by 40.
Tiger fans, welcome to another episode of Tiger Talk with the 1400 Club. I am the Corey C. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast so you do not miss an episode. You can find us everywhere you find podcasts, Apple Podcast app, Spotify, Google Podcast app, YouTube, you name it. So follow the show and tell every Tiger that you know. And remember, when you support Tiger Talk with the 1400 Club, it all helps the cause, which is I love Jackson State University. And as you know, it's football season, and BetOnline is your number one information source for all your sports wagering info with all the up-to-the-minute stats, news, scores, and matchup breakdowns. Get the latest game odds, spreads, and totals from the NFL and college football right at your fingertips with BetOnline's real-time updates on stats, news, and odds. From week 1 all the way to the college football playoff and the Super Bowl, BetOnline gives you access to the best football promotions and contests available anywhere online. So head on over to the website today or use your mobile device to get in on the action. And be sure to use the promo code BLEAV, that's BLEAV, to receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline is where the game starts. All right, and we are back with another special guest. He's coming out of the backfield. Breakout season. We've been waiting on him. And it's his time. It's his time to shine, and he is doing just that. Running back Desmond Moultrie, 21. Welcome to Tiger Talk with the 1400 Club.
How you doing, man? It's glad to be here. I'm glad to be here.
No doubt, man. Glad to have you, man. Glad to have you in Jackson. Glad to have you on Tiger Talk with the 1400 Club. Finally, you know, I know you were waiting to come on. We've been aiming to get you. We were coming for you, so
yes,
it's the right time, man. Definitely the fans, I've seen you doing your thing, man. So let's start from the beginning. You've been there, but for the fans who aren't familiar with you, just introduce yourself. Tell us something about you. Give us a fun fact. Give us something interesting that may catch us off guard that we may not know about you.
I have 2 cats. That might
okay.
throw people off. I have 2 cats. Can't have dogs in my building, so I do have 2 cats, and they're both girls. 2 female cats, and I love them.
All right. What's their name?
People a little off. Cookie and Nyla.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right, good stuff. All right, so man, go ahead and rep your city, rep your high school. Let them know.
Man, I went to Trinity Christian School in Dallas, Texas. That's also where, Cameron Silman Craig, Kobe Paul, Emari Matthews, Shador, Shiloh, Coach Prime. We were all over there in Dallas, Texas. Big D. Love Dallas.
No doubt. You definitely represent it. So we'll talk about Dallas. We definitely want to hear about it. But for the casual fans who just became aware of you this season, just tell them about yourself, man, as far as when you graduated from Jackson State, when you first get to Jackson State.
Yeah, I first got here in the spring of 2020. That COVID season, it was rough for a lot of people, but the city embraced me. It was, beautiful city, beautiful culture. Food is amazing, man. I gained a few pounds coming down here, that's when I got here around 2020. Coach Prime's recruiting class, and embraced the city, embraced the culture, embraced the grind. Jackson State University, I love, man. I love it.
Gotcha. So you got here during that spring season with Shador. So you graduated early and were able to enroll early. Is that it?
I graduated in 2020, so I waited a season with the whole COVID and seeing what was going to go around. Yeah, what was going around in the country, And Coach Prime, gave my dad a call and was like, "Hey, let's see what we can do over in Jackson State." So I redshirted that spring, or initial spring season, and then we started that 2021 season in the fall.
Okay, so talk about that recruitment. I know you said you got the phone call. You said your dad called Coach Prime, or vice versa. Just kind of talk about that recruit.
Playing high school with him for 3 years, winning 3 state championships. It's a no-brainer. You got to follow someone like that, and then to go to a prestigious university like this. Hearing about this since I was little. Going to Jackson State University, going to an HBCU in general was always a major goal, a major opportunity, and so it was a no-brainer.
So talk about that year after you graduated, just kind of wait. I guess maybe not a full year, but a half a season, a half a year, I guess, waiting, not playing, just how to stay in shape and stay engaged. And were you worried about the recruitment after sitting out?
I was. Initially, I was really worried about the recruitment, where I'm going to go, are we going to even be able to play ball? And, trying to stay in shape, training twice a day. It was grueling, man. Didn't have a haircut for about 2-3 months. Real rough, real grimy. As our O-line coach now, Coach J.O. say, it was a real grimy week. It was a real grimy 3-4 months without a haircut. Just putting in work, just going back to my roots, and just putting in that work. And whenever Coach Prime did call about going to Jackson State, I embraced it. And I knew I was ready, and I loved it. I appreciated it.
Mm-hmm. So take us through your first couple seasons, starting with that spring. But once you got into the first 2 full seasons in the fall, I know the team had a lot of success, undefeated in the conference, 2 SWAC championships. But personally, you didn't play a whole lot. So what was that like, not playing but seeing so much success with the team?
Correct. We came from winning, so I expected to win. I knew with the talent we brought in that we were going to win. I just wanted to contribute in any way I could. But I got, riddled with injuries, those little injuries, they get on you. Yeah. And just trying to stay motivated, keeping God first, stay prayed up, your time's coming. And, learn from the guys that are getting the reps, learn from the guys that are ahead of you at that time. At the time, it was Peyton Pickett, Santee Marshall, J.D. Martin. That's a hell of a backfield right there. It's different things you can learn from each one of those backs. And I did. I took a lot of things, especially from Peyton, because he was my roommate along the first season. So I did learn a lot from Peyton Pickett, a lot from Santee Marshall, a lot from J.D. Martin, who I'm still learning from. And, I just sat back and took notes and learned from, their mess-ups and learned from their successes. And it put me in a great place going forward.
Absolutely. So great student. You stayed patient. You stayed prayed up. And, when your chance came, when that opportunity arose, you were able to take advantage of it, taking advantage of it as we speak. Even with the deep running back room, you talk about some of those former guys, but the current group of guys as well. So just tell us what you've done to stay so ready, especially with those injuries as well.
Well, first and foremost, Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior, keeping my faith in him, because, anywhere through that process, you could get, you could build down on yourself. And then my head coach, Coach T.C. Taylor, even now believing in me, keeping me on the roster. That's the main thing. When a new coach comes in, there's a lot of roster turnover. That man believed in me, and he knew I could do it. And I want to appreciate him for keeping me on the roster and for believing in me to do what I'm doing now. And, just taking advantage of every moment, just taking advantage of, those opportunities, because, not everyone gets them.
Mm-hmm. All right. And of course, you get your opportunity. And along with it, I think came a jersey change. I think was it 24 at first?
Yeah, I was 24 at first. And I didn't
Shiloh's old number. The Jackson State alum, the Shiloh Sanders. So
head gang CEO, former teammate, big shoes to fill. But I think I'm gonna try my best to do what I can do.
And why 21? Was that the high school number, or was that paying homage to Coach Prime or Shiloh, or that's just coincidence?
Mostly coincidence, but my favorite back is Ezekiel Elliott.
Okay.
Favorite current back is Ezekiel Elliott. All time have to go with probably Adrian Peterson, but current back is Ezekiel Elliott, and so I didn't mind rocking the 21 for a season or two.
Absolutely. And the breakout game, well, maybe you may not consider it your breakout game, but for a lot of fans, I say against Southern. But importantly for you, your first collegiate touchdown. So tell us about that day, man. How are you feeling? Could you anticipate it was going to be a big day? So talk about before and then after the game and during the game.
Well, my running back coach, Brandon Morton, Coach B, as we call him, he kept me ready. He kept my mind in it. He was juicing me up before the game, juicing me up in practice, keeping my mind ready, putting me in the situations to be successful. He was the previously he was our GA, offensive running back GA, and we would always be spending extra time before practice doing footwork drills, ladder drills, and all that. And it's just looking back at it, it's like, man, it's a correlation of everything we did, and now here we are, and you're putting me in the game, you're coaching me up, you're believing in me to go out here and to execute the game plan. Coach Maurice Harris put me in the right situations to showcase my talents. Got to thank him for what he did. It's just I greatly benefited from his wisdom and his knowledge of the game. Man, there was a lot going through my head when I scored that first touchdown. A lot of people after I did pointed out my celebration. I had to pay homage to. I was thanking God. The celebration, it was me thanking God, but my uncle Justin Forsett, who played in the NFL, that was also his celebration. So I stole that from him.
Okay, yeah, I was definitely going to ask you about it, man. They got a nice still shot of it, man. That's got to be your profile picture, man. That was so dope.
Yeah, that's probably the best picture I've had in a while. Me playing ball.
Yep, absolutely. And I mentioned how deep the running back room is. It's a very diverse running back room too, because you have the graduate transfer Mulligan, the guy who's been around, JD Martin. You mentioned him already, and then the true freshman Ahmad. I know you're proud of him, seeing him balling like that. But just talk about your guys in that running back room and what you like about each of them.
Yeah, we call ourselves the G Unit. G Unit soldiers.
Okay.
And get work done. No.
G Unit.
G Unit, like 50 Cent. G Unit, and guy like Irv Mulligan setting the tone, the way he runs, the explosiveness he has. Man, that guy, learned a lot from him. He runs similar in my opinion to Peyton. Peyton Pickett, real patient, real explosive. JD Martin, fast, great hands, very athletic, and Ahmad Miller, freshman, very, very, very explosive, great size. Freshman mistakes you don't see a lot of those freshman mistakes coming from him, and I think that's a lot to do with his older brother that he can glean from.
JD had to miss a couple games, and you got an opportunity to really step in, and you may have surprised some, but a lot of people who were really following closely weren't surprised because we were expecting that from you, because your name was really buzzing throughout camp leading up to the season. And if we go back to the spring game as well, definitely showing some flashes. So I know you weren't surprised, but let's talk about the spring and camp leading up to that, as far as how this is not a big surprise or shouldn't be a big surprise for people.
Man, every day we pride ourselves on, Coach Harris says it every day, doing our 111. And my part of the 111 was, take care of that football, run that football effective. And our goal is to be a fundamentally efficient scoring machine. And to do that, we got to run the ball. So, I made sure I stayed in shape. In camp, my number was called to relieve 5 or relieve 8. I just go in there and do my job and do it well. And I just pride myself on, doing that and always being ready.
And you mentioned your running back coach, your position coach, a couple times, Coach B. That's a guy who we don't hear a lot about or see a whole lot on social media. So just talk about him a little bit. What is it like working with him?
Well, he would think that was a good thing. He always says in the meetings, if they don't call my name, that's because y'all did y'all's job.
Okay.
So when we do our job, it's his life's easy for him. He's in the film room. He breaks down that film. He shows us our mistakes. We go out there the next game and we capitalize on those things that he showed us, man. He knows so much about the game. To be a young guy, to glean from him. One interesting thing about him I want to share, I know he won't mind me sharing it. We watched film in his office, and I know ESPN did coaches 30 under 30, and he didn't make that list. And so he has a cutout of all the coaches 30 under 30 on the list, and he put it on his door. And if your coach is that motivated, if your coach is that determined to get on a list like that,
wow,
you have no choice but to be that determined to do the same thing. And so I grabbed so much inspiration from him.
Wow, that's interesting, man, for him to be that competitive, still as a coach. That's something you tend to see players, do. Like if somebody's ranked ahead of you, or a lot of times when players get drafted lower than they expect, they'll remember all the guys who were drafted ahead of them. So from that having that fire and that motivation, a competitive spirit, I'm sure that just trickles down to that running back room. So
most definitely
not surprised at all why you guys are kind of doing your thing. And of course, Coach TC, you mentioned him as well. Now he's been around with you since you got to Jackson State, but now he's the head man. So what were your thoughts when he first got the job, and how is it playing for him?
Man, I was excited. He was the coach to do my official, recruiting and all that with Jackson State. Make sure I had everything ready. That was him in 2020 messaging me, staying on top of me to make sure I knew my J number, knew what dorm I was in. And all that. That was him in 2020. And so, after that Celebration Bowl loss, I texted him on Instagram. I'm like, Coach, we're gonna be back. We're gonna let's get it, And it was great that this season our slogan was start in Atlanta, finish in Atlanta. So when we finished in Atlanta, I hope I can show him that text message and say, Coach, we back. Now let's go get it done.
Wow, that's interesting that you texted him that, because I wanted to talk to you about, obviously with Coach Prime and all those guys who you came in with and played high school with leaving. I know that was tough for you. So I just want to kind of get your mindset behind, and you can be honest, contemplating leaving, or did you contemplate leaving? I know earlier you said you thanked him for allowing you to remain on. So was that ever a decision that had to be made, or how did that play out?
I always thought this was the best place for me. When people left, that was the best decision for them, and it worked out for them, and I loved it worked out for them. Cheering for Colorado every game they play. A lot of my old high school teammates, old high school coaches, Coach Mathis, Coach Hart, all over there, and so I love it for them. I love it for Coach Prime, Shador, Shiloh, all the guys. But what was best for me, and I prayed about it, it was to be here, right here at Jackson State. Talk to my dad about it, talk to my mom about it, and this was just best for me. And so, Coach O and Coach TC, I'm glad they accepted me back and seen a role for me here at Jackson State University.
And you talked about Coach TC being your lead recruiter way back then. He wasn't even your position coach. So did that play a lot into the decision, and as far as how comfortable you were just having a relationship with him dating back from the day one?
Man, he's just a good guy. If anybody's been around Coach TC, you're going to crack a smile or two. He's a good, funny, energetic guy. It's hard not to like him. Great head coach. Great head coach.
Gotcha. And you talked about this being the place for you. So what do you like most about playing for Jackson State? If you can narrow, it may be hard to narrow down to one. So, one or two if you have to name two.
Man, from all the way from our AD, Coach AD Ashley Robinson,
good point.
Down to, the people, the staff, the training staff, everybody, they love the university. They bleed blue, and they're here for you. They love you. The city loves you. The love you get. I go to, I'm a Waffle House guy. I love Waffle House. Shout out Waffle House. I love Waffle House. Every time I go to Waffle House, after practice, early in the morning, you'll see those guys in there. They'll see you with your shirt. They'll ask you about your game. They'll ask, how did you do? And it's just uplifting to see the smile on their face that, wearing that, Jackson State across your chest does to people. It just gives you inspiration. It gives you motivation to keep going, to keep pushing. I know after this last game, I took a picture of a lot of young kids that are in those stands. 8, 9, 10-year-old kids. And I know a lot of them weren't taking pictures of me because I'm Desmond Moultrie. They're taking pictures of me because of what's across my chest. That Jackson State University, the name in the front. Because TC always talks about that name in the front means more than that name in the back sometimes. And you have to, put that work in for that name in the front. So, it means a lot just to be at DI Love.
Yeah, that's huge. And the fan base, you'd be surprised how many times, well, maybe you wouldn't, but I've seen a number of times where a kid took a picture with a player way back in the day, and then 10 years later they'll show that picture with them now at Jackson State, playing for Jackson State or going to Jackson State, and they'll just kind of trace it back to how when they first became a fan, and showing the former player. So man, that's huge, man. Good stuff. And then what about do you have a favorite game, opponent, or atmosphere? I know it's great playing at the Vet, but is there a particular team or venue that you love playing at?
It's hard to beat playing at the Vet. It is so hard. It would have to be Valley.
Really? That's interesting. At Valley or against Valley?
Against Valley, at Valley. The grit and grime of that game is so physical. A lot of people would say Alcorn, but Valley, man, it's tough. Because you're in the heat and the sun and the grit and the grime of playing them. They're a hard-nosed, old-school coach team, and I don't know what I love about it. I'm a country boy at heart.
Okay.
I love playing out there in the country. I don't care how many people in the stands. It just feels at home.
Yeah, wow, that's interesting. But yeah, man, just with some of the disadvantages that they have and what they have to go through, definitely, that kind of brings that out of them, man. You gotta go get it. You gotta get it out the mud, as they say, playing up there. So yeah, that's interesting. But I respect that. I can see it. I can understand it. Definitely. All right, so I got a few questions for you. I'll kind of put you on the spot. I want to see what your answer will be. I got about 5, 6, 7, 10 questions. You got to give me a quick answer. Going to go down the line here.
All right.
All right. So let's start with funniest teammate. Who's your funniest teammate?
Ooh, that's tough. Got to go quarterback, Jacoby.
Oh, okay. Jacoby. Okay. So he likes to crack jokes.
Man, hilarious.
Okay. All right. Number 2. It may be the same person, a little bit different, but similar. Prankster. Who's the team prankster?
Jason Brown.
Jason Brown.
Brown.
So give me an example. What's something that he's liable to do?
Shoot. jump scares. He's a real big jump scare guy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I can't really. Some of it is just locker room stuff that some people don't understand. But
Gotcha.
he's a big jump scare guy. He's a big, grab your towel guy. He's a big, hydrophone guy.
Gotcha.
He's hilarious.
That's it. That's what's up. All right. So let's see. Who's the smartest person on the team? I don't mean football. I mean academically. Like, you know how in high school they do that most likely to succeed thing. So who's the guy that's most likely to succeed outside of football?
I know I'm all over the quarterback room, but Grayson Thompson.
Okay.
Grayson Thompson is he's a pretty smart guy.
Absolutely. Yeah, we had him on the show. We told him we think he's going to be a coach one day. But if
yes,
not,
I can see that. And he's another Dallas guy. He's another guy from Dallas.
Oh, okay. Absolutely. So that actually probably answers my next one. So we'll have to go with somebody other than Grayson. Who's most likely to be a coach?
Anthony Petty, DB.
Petty. Okay.
Anthony Petty. Man, the study he does on the game. If we pull up film hours, I promise you he's killing everybody, probably other than the quarterbacks. That man knows football. That man knows the DB room. I can see him being a DB coach.
Wow. That's interesting, man. Underrated player, man. And Petty doesn't get a lot of credit, a lot of shine, but definitely, man. Glad to have him. Glad he stayed as well. All right. What about give me a coach who you think was probably the best football player in his days out of the entire staff? And don't go by the stories that they tell you, because the stories can be exaggerated. We don't hear the stories, but who do you think was a dog?
Coach Bradley. Easy.
Okay.
Coach Bradley, easy. He's a big guy, big, strong guy. And the way he just carries himself, he was a dog in them trenches in that D-line.
He said he played every position.
He probably did. I believe him, how competitive he is.
He said he played it all. Yeah, I can see that. All right. So this is a controversial one, but I want to hear from you. And you can't be yourself.
Okay.
Who's the best hooper on the team?
Man, I know he watching this, probably gonna watch this, and he gonna be like, you better say me, Jesse Riley. Other than myself, Jesse Riley. Honorable mention, Callie.
Okay.
Jesse Riley.
Okay.
Jesse Riley.
Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah, y'all got some hoopers. Y'all put together a nice B-ball squad.
Could. I think we could.
Yeah. Your coach TC was a hooper too. I don't know if you knew that or he told you. But
I didn't know, but I don't. It doesn't surprise me. About 6'5", 6'6", big athletic. Yeah.
Yeah. I knew Coach TC first as a hooper. I was actually surprised when I saw him go the football route in college. I was like, "What are you doing?" Right. But he had a couple offers for to play college basketball, and then later on, the college our coach at Jack State asked him to come play as well. So definitely all around athlete, just an athlete. All right. Fastest player on the team.
Eric Simmons. Really?
I've heard that before too. I've heard
Eric
that.
Simmons.
Yeah, I've heard that. Yeah.
That's tough. Yeah, I have to go Eric. There is Andre is he's fast, but Eric, it's between him and Eric. I'll give the edge to Eric.
Okay. Let's see. So here's a different one. What player is most likely to be working out on his own? Like, let's say you went in the weight room or the practice field, just a random hour of the day. Team's not supposed to be out there, or doesn't have to be out there, and a guy who's already out there just getting it done, putting in that work.
Julian, Jew, and probably Jew on offense, and probably D Davis on defense.
Okay. Yep. I can see it. Okay. All right. Strongest person on the team.
True Thompson.
I knew it was coming.
True Thompson, Chuck. And those are also two people that you probably will catch in the weight room nonstop. They live there. But True Thompson and Chuck, man, those guys can lift the whole room.
Absolutely. Who would you choose if you were a professional wrestler and you needed a tag team partner in a wrestling match? Who would you choose?
Doyle, yes. If we had a wrestling match right now, we're whooping everyone. Open challenge right now, me and Doyle.
Deuce.
Me and Deuce. Yes, sir.
All right, man. Last one. Give me one on offense and one on defense. Besides yourself, guaranteed NFL draft pick.
Defensively, man, that's tough. Defensively, John Huggins.
Yeah, we've been saying that since he got to Jackson State. That's an NFL player.
6'3", 210, 215, 4.3 speed, easy.
Speed, yep.
Offensively, I'm gonna go to the trenches to the O-line, Evan.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, he has that dog. He loves it.
Good stuff, man. All right, man. We'll bring you off the hot seat, man. I know with most of those, you can name several guys. So again, I had to put you on the spot.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. So back to you, man. Height and weight. What's that height and weight?
About 5'11". I ain't gonna say 6 foot. About 5'11", 205.
Okay, 5'11", 205. Who's your favorite player? Who's your favorite running back? I think you mentioned it earlier, but who would you say you pattern your game after the most? There's one player you try to. I mean, I know your own guy, but who would you say you try to mimic?
I watch. Cause the modern game is changing every year. It gets more spread out every year. So I watch a lot of Saquon being able to catch out of the backfield. My favorite back ever is Adrian Peterson, where he toasts that pill. But Ezekiel Elliott and Ezekiel Elliott currently is probably my favorite.
All right, man. Classification on the field, because I know you got here early and then COVID and all this and that. So, injury. So what's that classification what's the classification on the field and off the field? Let's do both.
Off the field, I'll be graduating this December, and on the field, I'm a third junior.
Wow. Okay. All right. So you'll have one more year of eligibility.
Yes, sir. After this year.
All right. Good stuff. And your major?
Political science.
Political science. All right, man. And a message for the fans, man. They're all watching. So what do you want to say to them?
Man, we appreciate y'all sticking with us, man. We're gonna try to guard that yard. We're gonna try no losses, at home. We're gonna try to, make sure when y'all come out and have a great time. And we just really appreciate y'all. We see y'all on the road. We see y'all here. We see y'all when we go in our hotel rooms, man. We really appreciate what y'all do for us, and we don't take for granted walking that Jackson State across our chest, man. We thank you.
And tell them why you want to see him at the vet packing the house, because you've seen it, half full, and you've seen it all the way full. So what's the difference between what we just saw against Bethune?
It's a different energy when that band gets to rocking and everyone gets to pumping them pom poms in the air. That opposing team, the energy just drains out of them. You can see it on the field when that place gets to rocking and rolling. So come on, pack that vet, 50,000, man, 50,000.
Absolutely. All right, man. And let them know where they can find you on social media if they're not already following you.
Man, you can find me at Desmond Moultrie _ on Instagram, at Desmond Moultrie on Twitter as well.
All right. And there you have it, number 21, running back out of the Big D, Desmond Moultrie, man. Thanks for joining the show.
Thank you.
Wish you the best. All right. Wish you the best the rest of the season.
Appreciate you.
All right. Tiger Talk with the 1400 Club is presented by Bet Online.